It is, but I don't know how it's going to end. I don't want to talk about it right now because I'm scared to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to tempt fate any worse.
That's what I was talking to Elizabeth about it because we did that. I mean, we just totally scrapped it. Like we're going to Disneyland instead. But like, I mean, you can't do that. I mean, you got all this stuff planned, you know. But she was like, he's just trying to get that down there earlier because he wants to be down there for the hurricane because he loves hurricanes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, okay, so like Pam usually doesn't pay attention to the news too much. I told you about it, right? That she like I came in from running and she was getting up and she's like, "So what's up with that hurricane?" And I said, I got to show you what Scott texted me. I saw it right when I finished my run. I showed him that text, and I showed her that text. She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I saw on Facebook they're taking the spires down off the castle." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, it must be going to be bad because they're taking the spires off the castle." Melissa Griffith posted a picture. I'm like, what? I'm like, that is like the biggest urban legend ever. Those spires can't come down. Because then I was like, what are you? Because I thought maybe they're taking those like decorations off the castle. Like, he's not even in the Gulf of Mexico yet. They wouldn't do that. So then I'd explain to her, like, every hurricane that post comes out, you know, and I'm like, you just got. So
she got rickrolled.
She totally did. I'm like, trust me, the spires are on the castle. She's like, no, I saw a picture. I'm like, that picture's not real. But I said, but we need to go down early. I'm like, is this because everything I said, no, so much can change. I was like, but consistently it keeps showing, like, you know, we're right off of Tampa. It, like, you know, the time we're going to be landing. And I'm like, dude, because at airport, we are not going to get down there probably for 2 more days because everything's going to get jammed back. And Frontier only has 2 flights a day. If I was
now you wish you're back on Southwest.
Oh, dude, I still wish I was back on Southwest. I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, I told Elizabeth that too. She was like so confused, like, why is he doing Frontier? I'm like, I don't know. He just wanted to try something different.
Well, no, what happened was for Summit when in May when Mallory had cheer, so they all go down at the same time. All these cheer teams from St. Louis, and so I looked and they were almost all sold out for like 2 days before, and she had to be there by this time, right? And so the only thing I found was Frontier. So I panicked, bought tickets on Frontier, then went back over to Southwest the next day, and all the tickets were there. Like, they were all available. It must be like
gotcha. So you had all this credit then.
Well, I had $1,000 in credit. And so what I said was, okay, we'll just buy tickets for May with Southwest. I'll keep that credit. We'll use it this summer because it's not that important when we get there. If we get there 12 hours later, 6 hours later, I don't care. It's not like it's a competition. But, you know, now it was harder to change, and they say it's super tight, and we'll see. I mean, as long as we get there.
As long as you get there, but like now you're going a day early, man. That's kind of awesome.
I know, seriously. Well, plenty.
You have like in a room too.
Yeah, I got Pop, so we're gonna be.
So you do 2 nights of Pop.
Yeah, I gotta tell them when I get there.
Are you gonna add an extra park day ticket to like Megan, or are you just not gonna go to the park those first 2 days?
Because we don't get in on that Monday night. We fly out at like 3:30, so we get in at 7. So we'll just chill, and then they want to be at the pool. So I mean, even at Pop, so they're gonna just kind of hang out at the.
That's gonna be probably one of the best days of the vacation, man.
I know, seriously, that's why, because I still got to work on Monday. So, like, I'm gonna record a podcast Monday morning right before we leave with Ricky, and I know you're playing golf, so I'll do that with Ricky. That'll be the listener question show before this one, and then that'll be it. And then I'll like do some work from the airport, fly down. And then when we land, grab some dinner and probably just work by the pool. Well, if the hurricane's not there, if the hurricane's there, I'll just go down to like, you know, the food court.
You'll get your camera out and be like on site.
Yes. Oh my God. But you know what's going to happen, right? This hurricane's going to totally go away. Now that we spent 6 hours today trying to get, because you know, first thing was we had to call Megan's mom, right? Because like, okay,
I know, I thought about that too. Yep.
I'm like, okay, can Megan go to, and then your mom has all the questions about her being, you're flying early to get in front of the hurricane, you know? And I'm like, no.
I know. I was curious how that conversation was going to go. Like, I swore I was going to get a text from you today. It's like, yeah, Megan's not coming.
Yeah, I did. She's like, wait, you're going down before it gets there? Yeah, because you want to be on the ground so you don't. So the airport doesn't go. I was like, never mind, it's fine. Trust me, we did Hurricane Charlie. It was fine. So who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I just want to get.
Now you're taking her daughter, her kid, like a whole nother extra day. I mean, they either love that or don't like it. I don't know.
Well, I know. I was wondering the same thing, right? I mean, we're going to be there now for 10 days. I mean, from the 5th to the 15th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be fun, but dude, I hate this because like It's Friday night, right? Tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday's totally gone because we have a whole family party, 4th of July.
And then you're gone on Monday.
Monday we head to the airport. And like I still got to record a podcast and work on Monday. Oh, crazy. Okay, we gotta get going.
I'm looking forward to your live updates and texts though. That's what's gonna get me, Mike, through my week until I get down there.
I can't. That's Pam's like, when Sky get there? I'm like, not soon enough. I'm like, because I'm going the wrong way. Like, we need to be going the opposite direction.
Yeah,
like,
you need to extend, not add on in the beginning.
I know, but I was worried, like, because I know that would happen. Like, if it does go over Orlando, they'll close the airport and Frontier will be like, okay, we can get you out, on Friday. I'm like, no, Friday, maybe my trip would be half over.
Oh my gosh.
I got stuff everywhere in here. Yeah. So
Wade just sent me an email. So he is packing his clubs. He's going to ship the clubs down.
That's always awesome. Like the flex, right? When the clubs come out on the belt, like somebody's got their clubs.
Yeah. Like, awesome. I would do it, but then like if I want to play another round, it would make sense. But then I'm like, I don't have that kind of luggage. Like I'd have to buy like that kind of suitcase or whatever for the
like the big rectangle kind of thing. Yeah.
Which I should look into, but
I need to get some clubs. That's my problem. I don't have any clubs. I would talk to probably Andy could sell me. Like I bet you Andy.
So you're totally not going to Top Golf now with all.
I don't know, dude. Top Golf is way out at this point. Dude, I might putt a few in the basement here. Just put like a cup. Just do a little putting.
Maybe you should on that Monday or that Tuesday where you don't have a park ticket because you're going to be there all day now, which you weren't planning.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you go play like Fantasia Gardens. Or something.
Summerland opened.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Only the Summerland side did, I think, or only one of them did. And then the other one's going to open up like tomorrow or something.
Okay, I think we have I think we got an argument about the Red Sox going on. Then wait tickets. Why didn't you read it?
No, I think someone bought tickets for Funway, but they weren't for the wrong weekend or something. Oops.
Oh dang, Boston! Those commercials just cracked me up. Did I get the shot? You passed out. Anyway.
Oh, my husband and daughter use ship sticks. I need to look into that.
Be careful when you say that around kids.
I know, right? We're live.
Seriously.
Don't say it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, please. Don't say it after a margarita. Yeah, so
but 18-inch sandwich.
What?
Or after eating the 18-inch grinder.
Yeah, dude, you said 18-inch grinder. But those clubs they let us use last time were pretty sweet. I mean,
they were.
The thing is, I don't know if they're sweet or not. I just know they're way better than the clubs I have from 30 years ago in my garage.
What I'm worried about is that I have this like special chipper club is what I call it. It actually is called a chipper. It's a legal club. I looked it up because I can't chip around.
Is it like a sand wedge or a pitching wedge?
No, it's kind of like similar to a putter, except it has like a bigger face that's like straighter, like for chipping. But it's awesome. It's like my magic club because I can't chip with like a sand wedge or a pitching wedge or anything around the green. So I really want that because that club saves me like 5 shots around. So I'm like already like doomed, worried about that. And I never hit a driver anyway. So I don't know. I might try the driver that's in the bag because I keep my driver out of my bag. So I might be tempted to hit the driver.
Big dog to bark, man. That's why I'm there. I just want to kill something.
At least we're not like on any villas this time. It should be a little more open, I feel.
Yeah, but what if my ball goes bouncing down Cone Alley, like that, whatever that road's called, Floridian Way?
Yeah, we've been down there. We spent a lot of miles over there.
That's gonna be so.
I just hope the Mickey card is out for like a photo op too. That'd be sweet.
That's what I told Mallory. She's like, "You're gonna get one of those Mickey cards?" I'm like, "I think there's only one. I think it's just for promotional stuff." She's like, "But I said we're gonna ask."
Yeah. Like it's BRS podcast.
If it's $50 more, dude, we're getting that mug. We're driving it around.
If it's $500, we're all gonna chip in and get it.
That's right. We'll be like, "Yep, we'll take the limo golf cart." I can't wait, man. Oh, that's why I'm going early right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to get so here's what we're doing, everybody. Hey, happy Friday, by the way. Sorry, you just kind of jumped in like the middle of a phone conversation or something.
This could have been a podcast, right?
Exactly. What is it?
That is a show.
Exactly, dude. This should have been it. Yeah, this is kind of like mysteriously dropping out on a FaceTime call or something. I don't know. Yeah. So okay, what we're doing is this is going to be the show for next Friday. Because we're getting ahead. I'm leaving early now because of Elsa. And this is the other thing. I didn't even finish my story. Pam said, and she's exactly right. She's like, a hurricane named Elsa is absolutely going to hit Walt Disney World. I mean, because can you see the headlines everywhere in every like website and newspaper? Elsa freezes Walt
Kingdom.
Disney. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like, it. Like, it's not perfect, but it's like the stars are aligned. The thing is going to hit
storm, you should say, huh?
Yes. So yeah, I'll be going down Monday afternoon now, and we're going to record 2 shows on Monday evening, which I'll now be in the air. So we're doing one right now, and we'll record one early Monday morning with Ricky. That'll be the listener questions for next week, and then we're out of here. Actually, if you want to hang out, we're going to do a Mike in the Midwest after this too. So, and we haven't decided. Maybe ballparks, maybe trivia, maybe both.
Maybe we'll ask people what they want.
Yep. We could talk about ballparks we've been to and experiences there, or we could do 80s or 90s trivia. We have either for Mike in the Midwest.
I only have 90s.
90s trivia.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, Riley came down, so we're set. Hey, what's up, Woo? Okay.
And we're not doing the word association, right? Or are we? Are we going to do like another part of that? Or are we going to do like
what we're looking forward to?
Okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
That's probably easier.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Dan votes for ballparks. That would be a fun one. I have a lot of stuff there. All right. Oh, God. Hang on. She just picked up the rabbit that squeaks. Okay, she went upstairs. It's like today, everything that, like, seriously, the dog hadn't touched a toy all day.
How's the weather, though? Like, is there going to be a storm coming that's going to knock out the pop?
No, man. It is beautiful here today.
Yeah, dude, it's so gorgeous. Like, no humidity and, like.
Come here. Yeah, she's back. Come here. I got it. Now go play. I got the bunny.
Oh, yeah.
Go play. Go play. I got a podcast.
It's like 71 right now. Like, it'd be awesome to be like on a walk right now at the sunset. Because it's still like, it doesn't set till like 9:20 here in Michigan right now.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's 79 here, but the humidity's gone. It's been so humid for the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Okay, here we go. 1929. I'm telling you, man, this is what I do after Mexican.
That grinder.
I can do it either
way.
Offering. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1929 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman. Let's try that again.
Oh, man.
Terrible.
That's never happened.
Yeah, well, I don't podcast.
With you and me, at least.
I don't podcast on Friday nights.
We're the one take crew.
Yeah, we are for real tonight. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1929 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. But right now, I'm from Walt Disney World. We're down there right now having a great time. So make sure you give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestMike. Drop in, see what's going on. We're going to be going live here and there and everywhere. And of course, you will probably see every cool meal that I have and snack and all the fun stuff around the parks and the resorts. And little update. Well, you already know because I'm already there, but we're going to talk about some stuff that we're looking forward to this trip. And we'll see if I've done it yet. And my good buddy, hashtag Scotty G's joining us because he is headed down tomorrow. What's up, Scott? How's it going?
What's up, Mike? I've really enjoyed following along all the live feeds, all the photos. I've been jealous, but it's been getting me through the week. So I've decided it's time for me to head down. So I'm leaving tomorrow. Super excited.
So, of course, we are recording this one before I left and before Scott left. We're getting this done in the studio before we head down. So you have a fresh show here in the feed. We always want to help you get through your Friday to make it to the weekend. And, as we're recording this one, I never thought a Disney princess would have such an impact on my trip. But apparently now this again, I hope this is long history by the time you're hearing the show. It was earlier this week, but Hurricane Elsa comes around and all of a sudden, all these dominoes started falling a couple days before we were getting ready to leave. And if you remember, if you're a patron, and we talked on the Patreon episode, we did a show about, that week before you leave, how it can be a super long week or it can be a super quick week because you got to get things ready. And Scott, I should have never published that show because it just like, fate just stepped on the gas pedal immediately.
Yeah. And I, at the time of this recording, I woke up in the morning and I follow a lot of, weather people that are local in Orlando. And I saw the model and like, I know you're always up running on the treadmill or outside in the morning. So I knew you were awake. So I had to send it to you. And I know you didn't comment right away, but I'm sure you saw it and you're probably thinking like, oh gosh, like it's getting, because that model looked worse than it's been in the previous days.
Yeah, I know. So who knows how it went, but we're going to go down. We're going down a day early. So you've probably already seen how it's played out, but that's kind of the plan as we're still here before the trip. And, we're going to make the best of it. We rode out Hurricane Charlie back in 07, 08, something like that at Pop Century, oddly enough. And it was fine. It was category 2 and it passed directly over the Walt Disney World Resort. Man, we got up in the morning. There were trees out of the ground. And I mean, it was super windy, but we felt safe the whole time. No problem. So we're going to get there before that airport closes, if it does, and make the best of it. I mean, so you've actually, real quick, I mean, we're just sharing stories here on a Friday. You were impacted by that hurricane. Was that in 2019?
It was 2019. I can't remember the name of it.
Dorian, I think, right?
Yes. That's the one. Yeah. So we were planning to because that was when Galaxy's Edge was opening in Florida that weekend. So, or it had just opened maybe. So we were super excited to head down there. And man, I kept texting you like all week, like, man, I'm getting nervous. Like, and we were flying Delta, and I was just tweeting at Delta, like, when are you going to offer like no change fees? Because they would charge a fee, if you wanted to make a change on Delta. And then finally, the second they announced it, I said, okay, I'm changing it. I ended up changing it to Anaheim. We just changed coasts.
You got well out of the cone of uncertainty there.
Yep.
With hurricanes, you said, okay, we're going to be so far outside this cone. We're going to be in California. And how did that work out for you? Because, I mean, that's kind of a unique, situation where you're focused on Walt Disney World, focus. And then all of a sudden, I mean, very last minute, you've been to Disneyland, but I mean, it was total switch up in your plan.
It was a total switch up, and it wasn't the most cost effective because as a annual pass holder for Walt Disney World, you only worry about tickets once a year, right? So now I'm scrambling thinking like, oh man, now we gotta get a 3-day ticket. Like, I love staying on site there, but like we're already adding this extra cost, so there's no way I'm gonna stay on site. I gotta find a good neighbor hotel. So it was kind of fun in a way too, like doing all that planning, like last minute, all the scrambling. But it was it was very costly, I'll say that. But it was an awesome trip because our daughter, she didn't even know. Emily didn't even know we were going to Florida. It was like a kind of a surprise for her, like end of summer, start of school year, because it was Labor Day weekend. So then we got to the airport and she just assumed like, hey, yeah, we're going to Walt Disney World, And then I was like, oh man, this is kind of awesome. She has no idea we're going to Anaheim. I'm like, she's going to know, like she's going to see where the flight's going and all that, So I said something like, yeah, like, what are you looking really forward to this trip? And she said, whatever. And I said, I'm really looking forward to the Main Street Electrical Parade because it was showing at Anaheim at the time. She's like, Dad, like, that's not playing at Magic Kingdom. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's playing at Disneyland. And her reaction was like so priceless. So we actually got to surprise her a little bit.
That's cool because you took not a bad situation, but I mean, a very stressful situation. Yep. It made it less stressful once you got on the plane because once you get out there, you knew you were kind of clear of the weather and gonna have a good time.
And you want to guess what? It was a beautiful weekend in Orlando, but that's okay though.
But Dorian did hit because
I didn't hit Orlando though, but it did hit. You're right, but Orlando was fine.
Cruise line. I remember I was super busy with Dorian. That's how I remember it. I think it was because the fantasy this was back in the day and this was again, kind of hold my beer with 2020 thing. Like I remember freaking out because Disney Cruise Line, I think the fantasy missed one sailing. And I thought to myself, because think about this, before 2020, it was really unheard of for a cruise ship. I'm talking a cruise line. I'm talking one ship in the line to miss a sailing. I could not fathom that a ship was going to stay in port instead of going out. That was crazy.
And like the impact that one day had, right, on all the rebookings you had to do and cancellations, move stuff around, and then 2020 happened. It's so crazy.
Still not.
I'm actually getting a cruise line credit back from a placeholder because I still don't know what to do with cruising. So I think that cancels tomorrow. It's ironic that we're talking about that right now.
I'm probably getting one too. I didn't even think about that because it's probably from the podcast cruise.
Yeah, I got an email from you this morning saying it's happening tomorrow.
There you go, $250 right in your pocket. There you go. Don't spend it all in one place. Okay, so that's good to know. I'm gonna check mine. So let's talk about what we're looking forward to this trip. Some of those things. So first of all, I've kind of given a lot of the background on where I'm staying and kind of the overall picture of what we're doing, and you've seen that since we arrived. Hopefully on Monday. We've been there this week, but what about you? Because you're getting there tomorrow. What's the layout of what you're planning to do?
Yeah, for sure. So we don't do split stays very often. If Elizabeth, she likes to step into the room and like unpack and just get settled in, which is a great feeling, right? If you know, like, man, this is my home for the next 8-9 nights. I'm just going to get everything unpacked, put the suitcases away, and just start vacation. But for this trip, because of DVC points, we were, as you know, Mike, I always run out of DVC points, so we could not get a full week's worth. So we did split stay, which I like split stays too, because it gives you those extra experiences at resorts, which are my favorite part of Walt Disney World. So I'm calling this the Springs vacation, or we're doing Coronado Springs and the Tower for the first time for us for the water view. Thanks for booking that for us, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're going to move over to Saratoga Springs for the next 5 nights. So it's an even split, 5 and 5. Looking forward to being at both Springs resorts, both kind of different, definitely different locations, but super excited to just relax and be at these awesome resorts.
And the thing is too, we usually always, vacation together, but because of, schedules, Mallory's got cheerleading. She only had this short window when we could go down to not miss her competitive cheer stuff. So we are going to be like overlapping for 5 days, which is going to be the epic part of the trip, which I'm really looking forward to. But then you'll be there after. I'm there before you get there. Now, you mentioned these 2 resorts. You've never stayed in the Tower, but obviously you've seen it. You've been in it. Mm-hmm. What are you hoping? Have you guys talked about that? Because I mean, it's rare at this point for folks that travel to Walt Disney World as much as we do to get a new experience like that. I've stayed in the Tower twice now, and it is incredible. It really does feel deluxe to me.
Yeah, and we love the deluxe, and that's the kind of impression I get, like talking with you and Jocelyn and other friends, have stayed there. Just looking forward to seeing what that view is like from up there. I've only really been in the lobby waiting out a meal for Maya Grill over like a marathon weekend or something. So I haven't really seen the rooms at all. So I'm kind of, it'll have a little bit of a surprise element for me because I really don't know what to expect. I'm assuming the layout and the decor is similar to like the outer buildings, like the siestas and the ranchos, things like that. I'm guessing, but it's going to have spectacular views. We have a water view room too. That's so cool. I'm sure that's going to be awesome.
It is. Yeah, because I had that in May. Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah. And then same with Saratoga, though. So Saratoga is one that you can usually get pretty easily on DVC points. It's not the hot item, like a Polynesian or a beach club or whatever. But I like staying at Saratoga. We stayed there. Actually, we've only stayed there once, I think. But they've been renovating their 1 bedroom. So they've gotten to the point where they're going to have like the Murphy bed out of the wall, which brings up so much extra space to me in those 1 bedroom villas. So I'm super excited to look into one of those. I need to request one of those rooms. I had a preferred room originally, which was like a guaranteed basically, because those rooms were all done. But I've been doing a lot of research lately, Mike, and it seems like most of the 1 bedrooms are now all converted to those rooms, to that newer setup. So I'm going to have to fax in a request though to make sure I get in one of those. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes to get one of those refurbished rooms.
Absolutely. No, you're right. I mean, I'm the same way. Like I'd rather wait 6 extra hours and have, the room I'm totally looking for 5 nights. It's kind of one of those, you don't want to get antsy. Otherwise, sometimes you regret it later. Not that a regular room's bad, but it's like, hey, you want new in the new. So I've never stayed at Saratoga. Now I've kind of snuck in there to run back when I stayed at the B a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And their resort is really beautiful. Like I didn't know about Saratoga. I think a lot of guests don't really know Saratoga because I think if you're not a DVC owner, you probably don't even ever have Saratoga on your radar. I'm guessing. I don't think people that are not DVC even think about Saratoga. Now I stayed in the tree houses with Pam way back in like 2010. Now that was incredible, but the tree houses aren't for everybody. As cool as they are, like transportation's not really great from those because the buses are slow. But you've stayed there once. Does it have like the old Key West kind of feel, which is a little bit different than like a Pop Century feel? How would you describe it from your
It's tough because it kind of has an Old Key West feel in the sense that it's big. Like how huge Old Key you run around, and you ran around Saratoga, so you understand it's big. And there's like a cool bridge there's like a little pond, which is where I think you saw the bird, right?
No, that wasn't the big pond. It was like a littler pond. It was kind of across the street from the golf course. But I know, it has the big fountain. That's gorgeous. That bridge there.
It's the big fountain, big pond, like awesome bridge, which is kind of fun. Kind of makes you think of Pop Century with the Generation Gap Bridge a little bit. Like if you're doing a run and then you're like, I don't want to do another full whole lap, so I'll just cross the bridge instead.
I'll just call that a short lap.
Yep. But it's a very big resort, and how I feel like it's similar to Old Key West is because of the size, and then It's great for renting a car, similar to Old Key West, because you can just park basically right in front of your villa, which is so nice. When you think about, gosh, Mike, when I think of like other deluxe resorts like Beach and Yacht and like Animal Kingdom Lodge, like you had to park like in basically this one main parking lot, and then it's tough to get back to your room. But at these two resorts, you can just pull right up into your front of your resort. Easy for groceries. If like, if I'm gonna, because we're renting a car, so we're gonna, obviously want to get some soda and some snacks for the room, some waters. So it makes that a lot easier too for transporting to the room. But yeah, it's big, and like I just loved a lot of the activities. We did a Surrey bike rental there, and there's like a little path where, because you're right, you've seen it from Disney Springs, you can see the resort at certain spots from Disney Springs. So like it's kind of cool being on the other side where you're on that path riding the bike and you can see Disney Springs from the distance. Like it's a very pretty resort. I really like it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And like I said, I haven't stayed there, but I ran through there, and so I got to take it all in, and it's huge. And it's, it's part of it's on a golf course, part of it's got water, Disney Springs across the, it's somewhere I do want to stay. And the thing is, it really, because I haven't been in the rooms, but the villas look really cool from the outside. When you're running past them, you can see like the three bedroom grand villas with the big balconies. And it's,
I will say I wasn't the biggest. So the time we stayed there, we did a 1-bedroom as well. And I remember it was awesome. Like, this is what I love about the 1-bedrooms. It was a rainy day, I think, Mike, and we went to the DVC community center that all these DVC resorts have, and we rented a couple movies. Like we rented Holes, and just like watched the movie like from the couch and made like microwave popcorn, and it was awesome. I just remember that. But I thought it was like the setup in the room just did not feel updated, and like the decor was kind of old. So, and at first we ended up staying there, I think 7 or 8 nights. And at first we did not enjoy it, but like by night 7 though, like we were like, oh man, this is too bad. We got to leave here. Like we love it. So I'm looking forward to going in with that, positive reinforcement that I've already stayed there. And like, at first we didn't like it, but I know in the end we really did, and see the refurbished rooms. Cause the layout's going to be a little bit different. So super excited, man. As I'm sure everyone can tell, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go.
And that's the thing, is we're in that window right now as we record, because again, I've been there when this comes out, but as we're recording, it's still a couple days ahead. So yeah, same way. Like I'm just hankering to be at Pop Century, the first couple nights, and I'm hankering to go over to Yacht Club. So that's kind of what we decided. We're just kind of talking about our trip right now, but what are we looking forward to? So we've had a lot of things come back online in the last month. I mean, especially, I was there in May, and it's like a whole new, world from May.
Completely different.
I mean, it's totally different. We had to wear masks and everything back then. So what is really kind of something that you are pumped to have happen on this trip?
Well, I won't even go down this, but any listener to the show knows I'm pumped for the BOGP Open on Sunday. That's going to be epic. But going back to like the Grand Destino, like the Coronado Springs Resort, I almost feel like I had to have my Disney card removed here, Mike, but I have not been to Three Bridges yet, and I am so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Like my goal is actually after golf, since that's where we're staying. Like I just want to, have golf with friends, and I want to go over to Three Bridges after I shower up and just like have a nice little cocktail on the water. Like that just sounds so perfect to me.
Yeah, to me, what's bad is, we stay at Coronado quite a bit. And as they were starting to construct Three Bridges, first you just saw kind of the bridges out there. Then you saw just a platform, and, you saw buildings starting to take shape. And that's kind of the fun thing about being a long-term Disney fan, is that I remember this is, again, a shout out to all the folks who've been going for quite a while. When we stayed at Coronado, we would stay in the cabana section. And we would stay in it was called business class suite.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it was kind of like club level, but it was a club level light. You didn't really have, it was super cheap. It was like, it was maybe 25 or $30 more a night than like your preferred room. And what they had this is where the tower is now. They knocked that building over. But what they had there was they had a business class lounge that in the morning had basically like club level, breakfast food, had bagels and fruit, and at night it had desserts and soft drinks and beer, and it was awesome. I mean, it was the biggest steal on property, but it's kind of fun because if you stay there long enough, I got to see the tower when it wasn't there, and then when it was just everything was a big dirt pile, and then every time you came back, and you always think it's never going to get done, and then before you know it, bam, you got Grand Destino. Same for Three Bridges, and I've still never been there either. I was going to go Princess Weekend 2020, but then I was like, and again, I was staying there by myself and I was just going to go grab something to eat, but it's one of those things like, because I had on this like warm up clothes and I'm thinking, I didn't know how fancy it was, but then somebody told me you could still.
Oh yeah, pretty casual.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. Like two things. So it's right. Like we saw like from the ground up that tower being built, you know, on several different stays. Like, I don't know about you, Mike, but I have a whole drawer of just those like construction pins, remember, from the 3 cabs that they would put in your room? Do you remember that?
Well, I had, yeah, and also I think I have them from Wilderness Lodge with like Chippendale.
Yeah,
I guess,
which I thought was cool.
Yeah,
it might have been when they were doing like the DVC or something.
Yeah, a refurb or something.
There's a lot of construction happening there, and I loved that. It was just kind of funny. We stayed there so many times. I got like 4 sets of those pins. But going back to that business class, I remember, I think it was 2016. Our families were staying there for a pre-cruise visit, and you know, I went to business class with you that morning. We were like so pumped up, like, yeah, man, we're gonna get a limo, we're gonna go to Port Canaveral here in a little bit, we got our snacks and everything, and then a party bus rolled up instead. Oh my god, do you remember that? It was so awesome.
Party bus was pretty sweet.
Party bus rolling into Coronado. Awesome.
Yeah.
We're like, what is this?
That's the thing, is like we were talking about, again, today's shows is kind of off the rails. We're excited to go down. I mean, this is probably the conversations you have with your friends and your family as you're getting ready to go. We were talking about Magical Express ending over dinner the other day. And Mallory was asking, well, what are we going to do? Like when you go down in January or February, you know, and Magical Express end. I said, well, you know, Mears runs Magical Express. They're going to come out with something, I'm sure, that's exactly the same, different name. You have to pay for it. It won't be free, but you know, and she's like, well, what about cruise line? Are they still going to have the motor coaches? I'm like, yeah, they still have those. We haven't heard, you know, that they're going away. She's like, oh, that's good. And then about 2 seconds later, she's like, but wait a second. I've never ridden one of those motor coaches. I was like, it's because when we go on cruises, typically it's with a group. And so we all just kind of split a bus or a limo or something. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you have a larger group, it worked out about the same. We got a little bit more, but it was way more fun probably. So
that's fun. Yeah. So can I ask you a question for things you're looking forward to, or something that you may have already done, which we may have seen, you know, in your social media. So you're doing the triple resort stay, which I like too. So as everyone knows, that's what this podcast has come out. You went down an extra night early. So you're doing a couple at Pop. You got a yacht club in there. You got Caribbean Beach. Love all that. What is something you're looking forward to at one of these resorts?
You know what I'm really looking forward to in general, and then I'll jump into the resorts, but in general, I'm just excited to be there on vacation with my family again. Now, you might say, Mike, you know, you guys were just down there in May, and I was there with Mallory and with Pam, but that was for cheerleading. And to me, that was kind of like a Run Disney weekend where, you know, they told the girls this, you know, it's a business trip. You're down there to cheer. You've been working all year. You got this bid. We're going to try to win the nationals, and that's it. Now, when it's over, you can have some fun, which we did for a couple of days, but it's one of those things where it's not vacation, you know, like this trip is vacation. So I'm looking forward to the things like just hanging out in the pool, you know, even at Pop Century, we're talking about that. Now, if the hurricane's there, we'll hunker down until it goes away. But if it misses, you know, I'm looking forward to spending some time in the Hippy Dippy pool, or, you know, we like the bowling pin pool. If you can't find anything else, go down to the computer pool. You know,
so you know, the gardeners are all about pools. Like if there's a day that we don't go in the pool, something is seriously wrong. And on a Memorial Day trip, we did all 3 of those pools at Pop Century. Sometimes we did multiple ones in the same day. So I'm excited to hear that.
You swam a lot on that trip. I saw a lot of pictures.
Dude, we love swimming. And when it's 110 degrees outside, man, you got to be swimming.
But you mentioned something earlier that's kind of interesting, because when you have to make these modifications on the fly, they're not as easy as they were pre-COVID because of theme park reservations and tickets and all that. And you initially asked me, you're like, well, did you add on a day of tickets to the girls? Because I have an annual pass. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, we didn't, because we're going to get there on Monday and we don't have our first park day till Wednesday. Now we were going in on Tuesday and we're just going to kind of get settled and then go to the park Wednesday, get started and get going. But you know what? You mentioned it. And I think this is exactly right. These first couple of days, not going to the park, just kind of being like getting to Florida, getting to Pop Century, not having theme park reservations, not having an ADR until the second night. I mean, it's like
awesome.
Like seriously, this could be the best, like 36 hours of the trip. We don't have anything. We can go play putt-putt. We go Winter Summerland. We can go because you can jump on the Skyliner, go over to the boardwalk or something. I mean,
you can try out that new ice cream, the Boardwalk ice cream shop, or whatever it's called, right?
Exactly. Primo Piatto over at Riviera. It's just, the thing is and I know this is counterintuitive to a lot of our audience, because I know a lot of our audience are the spreadsheet by colors and all that kind of stuff. But to me, the thought of getting there and not going to the Magic Kingdom till Wednesday and landing on a Monday evening, like, that's great. Who knows what we'll do? And I like that. So I'm looking forward to that.
It sounds so nice, and sometimes, Mike, because we have the annual passes, we force ourselves into those days. And it used to be, I may have said this on another episode that might be coming out or in the past, who knows, but
we've recorded everything.
We recorded every possible day, and not in linear format by any means. But, like, I used to just be the type that used to freak out if I wasn't in a theme park, and that was when I was like way young going to Disney. Emily was super young, and now it's just gotten to the point, like Emily too. She just like, I just want to sleep in, or I just want to hang out at the pool and like snack around the pool. And like, we'll bring cards, we'll play like War or Uno or whatever, Phase 10 around the pool. Like, and those are like some of our best memories. And like, and you just kind of have to force yourself to do that. And like, you have no choice now with those first 2 days. And that's going to be some of the best of the trip, I feel like.
Right. It takes all the pressure off, right? Because it's not that I still couldn't get theme park reservations, because you can, 3 of the parks are open at least, but I don't want to, like, I don't want to pay I've already paid enough for an extra hotel night. It's not ideal, but I also just want to, I've been looking forward to this for so long. I want to make the best of it. Don't want to get shut out by the storm hitting, and it probably won't at this point, but who knows? So I just want to get there. But, you mentioned kind of specific things, and you mentioned this in the pre-show and you brought it up, is that when we're over at Yacht Club, and this is a very specific thing, there is and I don't know if this is there or not because everything's modified, but I'm hoping it is. But at Hurricane Hannah's, the little bar right outside of Stormalong Bay, they have a killer buffalo chicken wrap.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Like, I want to be sitting there, and I can't remember what days of the week we're there, but like on a Thursday afternoon at Hurricane Hannah's, eating an awesome buffalo chicken wrap with, some fries and a Coke Zero, like, because that's a vacation, right? I mean, I should be working home, on a Thursday afternoon. No. I'm sitting poolside, Stormalong Bay, Hurricane Hannah's, buffalo chicken wrap, and life is good. Just nothing else to do. That's kind of stuff I'm looking forward to.
I love the way you describe that too. Like, how often do you do this? I mean, I know you're like, you kind of sit to like a simple schedule, like where you kind of do the same thing. Like, I'm at home, I'm in the basement, or I'm on the couch doing this. But like, I often will go to Elizabeth and it's like, it's Thursday at 2:00, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, if we were at home right now, I would be in that terrible meeting with so-and-so doing this. And like, instead I'm here at the pool having Hurricane Hannah's. That's like the best feeling in the world.
I do that all the time on my Disney trips when we're down there, especially over the summer. I don't know why over the summer, but because we usually go for the longer period of time. But like, when we're in line for Soarin', for example, it's say it's a Tuesday morning at like 9:48 in the morning. I'm thinking, everybody else is home hustling right now, and I'm in line for Soarin'. It is Tuesday. It feels like a weekend, but it's not. It's a Tuesday. And I bet you a lot of other folks do that, or maybe you're just kind of oblivious and you're having so much fun you don't kind of think about the big picture. But I get a huge kick out of that.
That's one of my favorite feelings.
The weekdays are way more fun at Walt Disney World than the weekends. It's totally bizarre, but that is an honest to God truth opinion. I have more fun on the weekdays.
Yeah, me too. And that's when most people are like tuned into, like when you go live on Instagram or something, like you get more people watching on the weekdays because they're like at work wanting to do something fun.
They totally work. Exactly. So give me something like, what is there something specific like that, like my buffalo chicken wrap at Hurricane Hannah's? Like, is there something that you just, it's got to happen this trip?
So there's some obvious things like that haven't been around in a long time that are just launching, like fireworks. I'm very excited about that. But to go like really specific, like, I've always been for the mask, I'm all about the mask, but being fully vaccinated, I'm really looking forward to taking that mask off, which I got to do a little bit over Memorial Day weekend, like outside, but you still have to wear it for like attractions. And it's going to feel weird, I think, at first, Mike, but like, I'm looking forward to like riding Slinky Dog without a mask. I can just like go like, yeah, like scream, like it's like I'm a kid again.
It's gonna be like riding a ride naked,
It's going to feel that way.
Whole face is naked.
But like, I think I like, especially those outdoor attractions where you miss the breeze, like hitting your face a little bit. I mean, it's like a weird thing to think about or describe. But like, I'm really looking forward to some outside attractions, not wearing a mask, and just feeling that Florida humidity hitting my face.
Not like, I'm not gonna I can't get my drink because I have a mask. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I can like walk around with a Coke Zero and drink it at my leisure. I mean, In 2019, this would have sounded like the stupidest podcast ever because I'm looking forward to walking around the Coke Zero and drinking it while my feet are shuffling. Like that is, I'm looking forward to that at this point. But you know what? Okay, so when they initially lifted the mask mandate just for pictures, so remember that was about a couple of weeks, and I will tell you, like I almost got a little choked up because on social media I started to see pictures that I hadn't seen in a long time of people's faces, and you saw smiles at Walt Disney World, and these were genuine smiles, and we took that all for granted. And you know what? I mean, like, you know, you mentioned like feeling the breeze on your face without a mask, but I was in Target today, actually, as we're recording to pick up some dog food and stuff for the dog. And it was just good to see like people, you know, like not, you know, messages on masks and all that stuff. You know, it was just like, it started to feel just like a human connection, you know, like, you know, I'm looking forward to that because at Walt Disney World, I tell people this all the time that, you know, I'm so lucky that what I get to do is help people plan some of the best times they're going to have in their entire life, you know, make the memories that hopefully they have for a lifetime, and to be able to see people smiling. Cause you see that all the time, right? I mean, if you've been there, a lot of the fun that you see is like, you know, grandpa and a grandkid sharing an ice cream. You don't know the people, but like just seeing that, like it's good for the spirit. I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna be awesome. You've mentioned several episodes leading up to this moment how Mallory is bringing a friend, right? Which I think is super cool. Like first timer too, right?
Let me throw in a quick story here because we talked about this in the pre-show as well. You guys should have been there for the pre-show. It might have been better than this show, and I'm sorry because we just got talking. But the thing
outtakes, baby.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't record. So here's the thing, though. You should have heard the call that, you know, when you're taking your kid's friend and you live in Missouri and you have to call to ask if you can take the daughter early because there's a potential hurricane that might hit Walt Disney World, but you're going to go early instead of after. And, you know, it's like, no, we're Disney fans. Like Disney's a safe place. Been there for a hurricane before. It's a fun conversation, but I'm just saying, okay, so back to, I'm just saying that was the conversation. It's like, no, yeah, it doesn't make sense, but can she come? You know, we're going.
Well, that was I commented on that in the pre-show too, because like my wife Elizabeth was talking about that too. Like, I wonder how that conversation went, which is why I had to ask you because I knew it had to happen. And I'm just thinking like, well, who knows? Megan might not be coming any longer.
Hey man, it was like 50-50 for me. I had no idea.
But I'm looking forward to meeting her, you know, and Mallory is kind of like an adopted child for me in a way. You know, I spent so much time with her. And so as any dad would do, I'm not saying I'm Mallory's dad, obviously, but like, I feel like I'm a dad to her sometimes. I'm looking forward to embarrassing her in front of her friend.
Well, that's good because she did tell Megan, she goes, once my dad's friend Scott gets there,
it's game over.
So yeah, so there are.
I'm just teasing, but I am looking forward to meeting her though.
She's super quiet. You know, I've only been around her like at cheer comp. They're not even on the same team.
Oh, she's super quiet. That'll work for Emily. Emily's kind of like on the quieter side, you know.
You're gonna hit it off, right? I know. But she just got her new cheer skill. We saw it tonight. She can do all these crazy backflips. It's unbelievable. But awesome. And I told her she can do that Pop Century, make a great TikTok. Like do some flips between those. Like little,
should we make some like reels or whatever? Like, is that something we're looking forward
to? First thing I saw her skill, I'm like, we need to do that between the foosball players at Pops because we're staying at Pop Century. We are going to the parks. Like, it'd be kind of cool because I can't do that.
What about meals, Mike? What are you looking forward to on the meal side? I know we have an ADR at a place you have not been to, even though it's going to be a little different in the new with the new menus coming out. But what's something you're looking forward to this trip?
Well, I am looking forward to Maria and Enzo's because we're doing that the night that we play golf. That's Sunday night, I think.
Yep, that's right.
So I've never been there, and you've been there, and kind of said it was a nice place. It's kind of airplane themed, right? Because
definitely airplane themed. Yep. Because
I could seriously, when I was in high school and college, and even now, I'll put the top down on the Jeep. I'll go over to the airport and just watch airplanes land. I've always been that way, even when I was scared to fly. And I love airports. Like I just love being in an airport because it's like its own little city, and everybody's coming and going. Like, you know, that person right there 10 hours from now is going to be on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
Or like, they're going to be in a different country. That is still, I know, I feel like I'm from like 1915 or something, but and so anything airplane themed, I mean, count me in. And it's Italian food, right?
It's airplane themed, but it's Italian food. Yep. And I went there. I think I was there recently. I know I've been there this year, either in January or February, one of those 2 months we went down, but I had an awesome lasagna. So Definitely some good Italian. I mean, you can't mess up Italian food. I feel like, knock on wood, but
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. It's a nice place to have like a big group, So we're gonna have a few families with us, I believe, that night. So it's gonna be pretty awesome. But I was thinking for you, maybe Sebastian's Bistro, because you're gonna be staying at Caribbean Beach, and we do have a reservation there one night.
I am really looking forward to that because a brand new experience. Never been in the restaurant. Never been, have any experience with. It seems like Again, here's the cheap side of me. It seems like it's going to be a good value because when they came out, it was like Ohana and Sebastian's at the same time. And I'll be honest, I mean, I'm practical. Like I looked at the prices and what was offered. Now, I'm not saying Ohana's not worth it, but it's an expensive meal, especially when you got four folks going. And I want to say Sebastian's was probably 60% of the price of Ohana. It was just a little bit over half. And again, it's a new experience and I'm staying there. It's kind of like when you're at Coronado Springs, like it makes sense to go to Three Bridges or to go to Maya Grill. Like it's on there and it's just, there's something about, I don't know how to really put this into words, but it feels kind of cool. Like when you're at your resort and you go to the restaurant at your resort, because everybody else has to kind of hustle away, get on a monorail, get on a bus, or take Uber. Oh no, I'm just going to, have my big meal and just roll down.
Such a good feeling. That's why sometimes
exactly
having like the nice restaurant, the resort pays huge. And so I've never been there and it's not even open yet right now, but talking about Saratoga, which is where we're staying at the later end of our trip, like the Turf Club is like their restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I've heard mixed things on it. I've heard some good things about it, but like I've never been, but it's still not open. But the thing is, when you're at Saratoga, you're just a 10-minute walk to Disney Springs where you have endless possibilities.
That's the problem. I don't think they'll ever work on Turf Club too hard, to try to, it's it's like going up against the 1927 Yankees, right? I mean, it's like
exactly
like you can try, good luck. It ain't going to happen. I think they need to have an adequate restaurant on premises just to say they have it in the literature, but literally you have an amazing,
and I think that's why it hasn't been rushed to reopen, right? Because not everyone wants to walk over to, I understand if you want to you've been in the parks all day, you want to take a bus back to your resort. The last thing you want to do is walk to, Disney Springs necessarily, but there is the counter service that's still there though. So they do have that offering, but yeah, I mean, the Turf Club is up against some really tough competition right across the water.
So you want to know something else I'm looking forward to?
Yeah.
This is totally us. I read on social media a couple days ago that in the France area of Epcot, they're now playing the Ratatouille background loop. It's a new background loop in France. Who looks forward to that except for our audience, right? A lot of folks in our audience are like really pumped up for that, and I am too, because the background music seriously is the stuff that sticks with you after you leave. You enjoy it on your vacation, but it can have an impact on you for a decade to come. You're just like, you hear that loop again at some point on YouTube or, wherever. And instantly you're like, oh, I remember that trip with Scott when we took Megan that trip, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. I did not hear that, but I know I'm ready to grab some bench and a recorder and just to record that thing so I can have it, so I can try to replicate it at home. But I know we talk about that in a future episode too, how like the background loops, seriously though, they just put you at a place in time or a memory. And it's just, oh my God, it makes my heart so happy. Same kind of thing with smells too, like you smell something. Like I think like living with the land, I smell that like. And if I'm like around anywhere at home, like you can't find anything really at home that smells like living with the land though, unfortunately. But
no, when like, in the summer, our path by our lake that I run around every morning, it's blacktop. And once a year they'll re-blacktop, put down like a fresh coat, kind of smooth over all the cracks. And it's one of those things, on a really hot day and it rains, it smells like the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it has that Florida smell.
Yeah, exactly. It's like boom, it's like I'm in Adventureland or something. Smells are powerful. I got to ask you this though, because we're running a little long, but again, guys, bear with us. We didn't want to miss a show, and I know this one's kind of random, but this is the excitement. I bet you have these conversations with your family and your friends. I hope you do, because this is all the fun. But give me one attraction that you're really looking forward to for this trip. I mean, it could be something obscure. Could be something new, but what's that one ride you're like, man, haven't done it for a while, or maybe it's just like I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have another question for you after this too, though. But and I'd like for you to answer this too. But man, I was just there, and I kind of talked about Slinky Dog, like taking the mask off, for an attraction, just sounds so awesome to me. But one that I really want to do, it's one of my new favorites, and that's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because Mike. I have not seen that pre-show yet.
Either. Yeah.
And now that they're showing it, that's the no-brainer for me because that's going to be a new type of experience, which I think is a big part of that attraction, seeing the pre-show. So really looking forward to that.
Mine is a combo. I can't wait to do Soarin' because and I love Soarin'. It's just a classic. I like the old Soarin' better, I think.
Me too.
I
like the California one so much better.
I think I do too. But I mean,
I still like Soarin' over the world. Yes.
Right. But I think I'm looking forward to that one because like Megan, again, she hasn't really gone into the theme parks, I don't think ever. And so I think that's one of those fun rides that it's not scary, but it's like when I got off that the first time, I was like, whoa. Unique. Again, she's 13. Who knows? Maybe it's like, whatever. Maybe I'm, overhyping things like that. But I like to see somebody have a cool experience for the first time. And I think Soarin's a good one of those. But of course, the Soarin' Living with the Land. I cannot get enough of Living with the Land. Like when I'm on that boat and sitting down and it starts moving, especially when you're going through like where the trees and the roots and the rainforest and all, I just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's great.
Awesome.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I love that answer.
What do you got?
I got one more for you. Especially on a long trip like this, you always want to bring back something as like a token or a memory, and it's usually like a souvenir. Maybe it's a hat, maybe it's a new shirt. But have you thought about like any shopping or any souvenirs, something that you're trying to buy, anything you're running out of that you need to restock?
So here's the thing. Okay, one, I might try to get like something golf related because I don't go to golf pro shops very often, right? And we're going because I've only been there once over at Lake Buena Vista. If I see something like I got that one golf hat years ago.
With the golf, it's like the Disney golf tee, right?
It's a golf tee. So if I see something like that because the thing is, I like to try to get something Disney, obviously, but also something that's unique to that trip. So I don't play golf ever, hardly on my Disney vacation. So if I see something over there like a shirt that looks cool, I'll look like a golfer even though I'm not. So I'm looking forward to that. I also, again, you want to talk about the junk you buy that you'll probably never wear when you get home. I saw this straw hat. It's like one of those big brimmed hats, and it says like Mickey and Company or something.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted by that. I saw it about 2 months ago. I don't know
if I do it. Let's both wear it and embarrass the kids.
Not very expensive. I know. Keep the sun off your neck. It's practical. But when you get home, like you're like, I'm never gonna wear this thing again. But I might go for that. I don't know. So, have you seen anything else that looks interesting you want to grab?
Dude, you took my answer, which is awesome. Like, because I want to wear like a new golf shirt for the round of golf, and right. I had Beth out trying to find like a Mickey Nike polo or something, like at the gift shops, and because there's nothing on Shop Disney, and she couldn't find anything either. But I was thinking, well, the golf shop will probably have, like the clubhouse will have it. So I want to get like a magnolia or a palm, some type of. Right. Maybe they have a theme to the course shirt, and that's what I'm looking for.
Totally go for that because that's like a flex when you get home, right? Like I've played. I mean, it's a big deal. Like if you're in Missouri, I mean, the thing is, these are courses that they used to play the PGA.
People know them.
All of these, exactly.
So this guy's a golf pro, but like I was talking to my golf coach, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to get good so I can like, show my buddies like I'm gonna be playing at Walt Disney World. And he was like, oh, are you playing the Palm, Magnolia, or LBV? Like he like named them all off. Like, yeah, man, he knows what I'm talking about.
Well, too, is somebody who's a Disney fan, right? Golfer or not, and I'm not. But I just want to hang out with my buddies and do the best I can. I used to golf, but I haven't golfed in decades. So the thing is, like you just like you can picture the Jack Wagner monorail spiel, right? Like the PGA plays every November over on the Palm, and dude, I'm going to be playing on a course that Arnold Palmer probably played on, or Tom Watson.
Ran by Arnold Palmer's like golf company. Actually, the courses are managed by. Yeah,
I want to say Tiger Woods probably played on that course when he.
I think he won it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's
how cool is that? And then any Disney fan, whether a golf fan or not, have heard that spiel. So if they see you wearing a Paul or Magnolia shirt, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know where that guy got that from."
Don't mess with that guy. He can putt. Yeah. No.
Awesome. I can't hands down, this is going to be an epic trip. I know. You're already halfway through. I'm like on a high right now, man. I'm ready to fly tomorrow. I'm super pumped, but it's going to be a great time.
All right. So we hope you enjoyed our conversation here. It's kind of off the rails, but it's a Friday. You're getting ready for the weekend. And I know, we talked about this. You guys can relate to this. This is why we go. It's the anticipation of all the possibilities of that future trip. Now, will I do all these things? Probably not, but it's fun to dream about them before. And, if you do half of them, you have a great trip. I mean, it's a good thing. You don't have to get everything off the list. you save them for the next trip. But I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see Scott and his family hang out and just have a great time. So follow along on social media at @Scott for Scott. He's heading down from Michigan tomorrow as this show comes out. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. I've been down there for quite a while, and I'll be there until the 15th. So at Be Our Guest Mike, Twitter and Instagram, and at Palm Trees of Disney as well. All right, don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney travel needs. We'd sure love to help you with that next trip over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons. You guys support everything we do, and I can't thank you enough for that. You allow us to put the show out all around the world 3 or 4 times a week. And our patrons get Mike in the Midwest, which we're getting ready to record an episode of that right now for our patrons after this show. So if you want more information on that, just check it out over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, we're going to get out of here and let's get on with your weekend. So for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Friday and an awesome weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
That was awesome.
Everybody.
That was a good episode.
Dude, I was pumped. Now I'm like 10 times more. You got me like really fired up.
And you know what I was thinking about? Like, I mean, I've seen Mallory recently because, you know, she came down this summer, you know, got to see her then. But I haven't seen Pam in like 2 years.
Right. And I meant to say that I get rambling and I don't even get to the point of my story, but that's the whole thing about the family vacation.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like
Pam hasn't seen so much.
Because
yep.
we were broke. We were not paying for a vacation. I went down just because, you know, we went on the super cheap because I had an annual pass. And yeah, so I mean, I'm excited for her because, like, damn, she worked her butt off.
And I haven't talked to her in so long, you know. Like, I mean, we'll text every now and then, but not that we've like intentionally fallen off. But like, I'm looking forward to connecting with Pam again and Elizabeth and Pam. Like, it's been a long time.
We see, hang on. I know, seriously, it's been too long.
Dude, I gotta blow my nose really quick for this next one.
Oh, it's great. Also, if anybody wants to hang out, we're gonna record the Patreon episode. So if you just want to hear that, just hang with us. If not, Scott gets some blow in his nose. That was nice. We're either gonna talk ballparks or we're gonna play trivia.
So what are we doing? Trivial Pursuit?
You want to try?
I
don't care.
I don't care. You've been talking about Trivial Pursuit for a long time, man. So I know you want to do this.
It's not hard though. Well, let's see. So you got 90s, right?
I have 90s.
Taking a card from the middle and just looking at it real quick. See how many I can get off this one.
I was just going to try to ask you certain categories. Like, I'm not trying to stump you. I'm just trying to have fun because I think this is what you're going for. Maybe I'm off base here, but like, I ask a question and you try to answer it, and then we kind of talk about the answer. Yeah. Like if we remember it at all or something. Remember, you're older than me, so I might not remember some of these.
10 years on you. Well, what if we just did like 2 categories off of each card?
Yeah. And I'll try not to ask something that's like ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, same here.
Like I'll try to be smart on the question I ask.
No, just kidding. It doesn't matter. Let's see here. Yeah, like you would get this one, right? What Michelle Pfeiffer movie got a boost from the Coolio song Gangsta's Paradise?
Oh my gosh.
See, I'm a teacher though. That's why I know this one, I think. Because it's like a teacher kind of thing.
I can like picture like the movie poster, but I can't think of I want to say it's called what is it? Dangerous
Minds.
Yes.
Because we went to the theater and saw it on opening night.
See, and then we can just talk about it, you know, like that story, you know?
Yeah, so just we'll pick the easiest, the perceived easiest one.
Or something that seems like good that we can talk about, you know?
Yeah, but we're going to play to 10. So I'm going to keep score here. So Mike, Scott, that way there's like an angle to it. Yeah, that song was awesome.
Depending on how long we're going, it might be till 5.
minute, hour after hour. I used to play that song at the skating rink. Dude, people go crazy. Okay, let me pull the first card. So we're playing. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let me get a card. Okay, so
you normally answer like feedback.
I do. I'm not going to do that for this one.
Okay.
Well, wait, is this one? Yeah, this. So let me see if I have feedback from this last one. Let me see what we got. Refresh, because that would give us some time. Nothing there. Let's look at the other one.
Oh man, my top card has a baseball question, so that's where I'm starting with you.
Oh yeah, nope, no feedback. So we'll just go from it. Get this stupid rabbit out of here. Okay,
man, the first guest ever on Mike in the Midwest. I feel like
that's it. I know, and it's It's way easier with somebody to talk to. Trust me. Okay, so this is 55. I can't drive 55. Oh my god, I got sneeze.
Have you not missed a week on here? So you've been doing this for over a year now, huh?
Yep. Have not missed a week.
So this will air like next Thursday, right? Is that when you post these, or Wednesday?
This will air
Wednesday.
No, Thursday. They come out on Thursday. So this will come out this coming Thursday.
And then you'll be able to record one when you get back.
We'll record one
when we're down there.
We'll record one like us bring the MacBook. The sound won't be great, but who cares? Like it'll be fun.
If the background noise is like kids, like
yeah,
like that sounds awesome.
We'll sit like by one of our pools and just like do a 30-minute show.
Yeah,
because I can record it on GarageBand and we can record the video on YouTube. Because I actually use YouTube. Actually, this one probably won't have video now that I think about it. It's okay. I said there wouldn't be video probably, so we're fine. I could probably link this somehow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not worried about that. Okay, here we go. I got to shift gears. Okay, this is not the Be Our Guest podcast. Okay, why do I have this card out? Let's see. I'll put that there. I'll be good at the earlier 90s probably. But I mean, you don't have to like pick from those.
Yeah.
What's all that? Dude, there's so many fireworks going off in my neighborhood already. Okay, here we go. Episode 55. This one sounds a little different. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Mike in the Midwest, a mini podcast for the great patrons of the Be Our Guest podcast. How you doing? Hope you're having a great week. And this is a very first time episode here for Mike. I screwed it up already. That's terrible.
Man, what happened? The one take, Scotty and Mike.
Oh, because I got to do it at the beginning so I can just delete it and start again. Okay, here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Mike in the Midwest, a mini podcast for the amazing patrons of the Be Our Guest podcast. How you doing? I hope this week is going well for you. It's going well for me because I'm down at Walt Disney World. We're recording this one just a little bit early, but welcome to episode 55 of the show. I can't drive 55, especially where I live, because we live on a highway where everybody drives 90. So there you go. That's the association for today. But today, very different show. We're not going to talk about memories of growing up in the Midwest. We're going to go a totally different way. We're going to have a different theme because, again, I'm on vacation, but didn't want to leave you without a podcast. Scott and I had a good time playing word association on the feed. So hopefully you enjoyed that show. But today we're going to jump in. Actually, that's going to come up next Monday. So sorry about that. But hey, this is behind the scenes. You guys are the only ones that know. You're going to get a show on Monday where we played Walt Disney World Word Association. But today we're pulling out the 90s Trivial Pursuit cards. And we're just going to play a simple game. First 1 to 10 wins. And we'll discuss, the topics and see what we remember from growing up in the 90s. And I think I have a distinct advantage at this because I'm an older dude. So we're going to find out. So joining me today, the first ever guest on Mike in the Midwest, your friend and mine, hashtag Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me join Mike in the Midwest, MITW. As a fellow Midwestern, in Michigan, the Midwest is huge. So happy that the first guest is also from the Midwest. But I know you've been kicking around this idea for a while for playing Trivial Pursuit, and looking forward to it. As you said, you do have a 10-year advantage on me. So I was around in the 90s, but wasn't very old in the 90s. I'm not saying that you were either, but looking forward to playing and challenging each other with some questions today.
So again, this could take a little bit because we're trying to get to 10. And what we've decided, we looked at the cards, because we both have the same game at our house. We went to our game rooms, our game closets, and we pulled out 90s Trivial Pursuits. We have the exact same game. We're pulling random cards, and we're going to try not to kill each other with these. I mean, we went through these cards earlier in the evening, and some of these questions are just impossible. Now, if you're a trivia wizard, you'd be doing great at this. But if you're not like us, we're just going to try to find questions that we deem fair. So we're going to go from any category and then just kind of go through the cards. So we're going to play first 1 to 10 wins. So I'm going to let Scott, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? Do you want to answer first?
I'll read first. I'll read first. I'm going to give the year because these cards, this is like a special 90s edition that we both have, like a time capsule edition. And each card is themed to a certain year of the 90s as well.
All right.
So I was 10 years old, Mike. 1993. Here we go.
I was 20. Oh,
all right. And it's a baseball question, which
okay,
you and I both love baseball. Who knows? We might have to make up our own multiple choices down the road too. If this is going too long. What slugger entered baseball's Hall of Fame with the lowest lifetime batting average of any outfielder ever inducted?
In 1993?
Yep. So they would have played like in the 70s and 80s, which is a great era for baseball, by the way.
So I'm guessing, here's my thinking on this. I'm guessing a big power hitter because they probably got in on home runs rather than average. I'm going to say, God, this could be anybody. I'm just going to take a random guess. Bill Matlock. I don't even know if he's in the Hall of Fame.
Nope. So this person actually was in a movie in the 90s as well. Did you ever see Naked Gun? Like those Leslie Nielsen movies? Huh?
Is it Reggie Jackson?
It's Reggie Jackson.
I got a story about Reggie Jackson. So I always tell the story how my dad caught John Denny, who pitched for the Phillies, right? Well, he also pitched for the Cleveland Indians at the beginning. He actually pitched for the Cardinals first. He came up with the Cardinals, got traded to the Indians. He was playing against the Yankees, and he threw at Reggie Jackson. And so he hit him the first time because John was a mean dude. Like he wasn't a mean dude. He was like in Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He did a lot for my baseball team. He's a great guy, super competitive though. Kind of like me. Like I try to be nice, but when I'm in a competition, man, be careful. So anyway, he hits Reggie Jackson. This is at Yankee Stadium. Hits Reggie Jackson with a pitch. And so Reggie Jackson thought he was throwing at him. So he like start chirping going down the line. Well, the second time he comes up, he drills him like the first pitch. Reggie Jackson charges the mound. They get in they're fighting on the mound, and like John has him in a headlock, right? He's getting ready to rock him. There's a picture of it in some old book I have. But Reggie Jackson bit him like right in the side. It bit him. Like who bites people? So there's my story.
I was just thinking of like Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura when you said the headlock.
He messed him up. Oh man, I gotta get a better card because this one's way too hard.
This is gonna be a 2-hour game, which is awesome.
Because we got no points on that one. Let's see here. Okay, how about this one from 1993?
All right, same year.
What U.S. site suffered $310 million in damage from a bomb that cost $300 to make?
What site or?
It was a site, yes. $310 million in damage from a bomb that only cost $300 to make.
I got nothing.
World Trade Center.
Oh,
that was the one that was in the garage.
I remember this now. Yes.
Yeah. People forget about that. That was kind of a precursor to bad things later.
Yes, it was. Yep. You know what? Obviously we know what we think of with the World Trade Center, but like from like a pop culture like movies thing, I always think of the movie Escape from New York. Did you ever see that movie with like Kurt Russell?
No.
Okay. All right. That's right. You don't watch movies.
I know it's gonna be the worst show ever.
All right. Well, he has to like land this plane like on it's called the Gulfire plane. He has to land on the World Trade Center, and that's anyway. All right.
Lands a plane on the World Trade Center?
Yeah, like because it's a crazy movie. It's like supposed to be like a futuristic movie. It's like, and it's a John Carpenter film, who did like Halloween and stuff. And it's like in the 80s.
Does it land vertically like a helicopter?
Kind of. Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he tries to create a small runway out of it. But so basically New York City is a prison. And it's so crazy. And Air Force One like crashes there. So all these prisoners have captured the president. So they need to send someone in to get him. And Kurt Russell is like this ex-con who's like, they're going to send him to prison in New York City, but they're giving him this bargain if he can get the president out. Nice. So he has to they give him this plane and he has to land it on the World Trade Center. Like it's supposed to be super futuristic. I mean, it's kind of a good movie, I guess.
That's a good movie. Okay, go ahead. Give me another one. I got one for you too.
This is what this episode's going to be like,
How do I think you can answer?
All right, this is tennis, Mike. Which I kind of watched a little bit of tennis in the 90s. I really got into tennis when I think about it in the 90s. There's some good players.
Yeah.
So what 19-year-old became the youngest man to win the U.S. Open tennis title in 1990?
Boris Becker.
That's a good answer. It's not, though. It's one of the, so there's him. There was Andre Agassi was another guy I always thought of. This was Pete Sampras, which I remember him.
Yes, he won so much because I had a friend in high school looked just like Pete Sampras.
Yeah, he had like a distinct like haircut, kind of.
He was on the tennis team. That was what was ironic. He looked like the person who played this. Okay, here's yours. What dog breed spiked in popularity when one starred in the Yo Quiero Taco Bell TV ads?
Chihuahua.
That's right. Yes, ding.
There's an SG.
There we go. Point for Scott. All right, we're rolling.
You were nice to me.
Yes. I mean, I should have gotten that question. It was still about Taco Bell. But,
yeah. I feel bad giving you all the sports ones, but I have to give you this next one.
Okay.
Because it involves the Cubs.
That's okay. And I watched a lot of WG growing up.
I know, exactly. Right. And who knows, this might have been against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So this is 1990 again. So think about that Cubs team in the early 90s. So what Cubs great was intentionally walked a record 5 times during a 1990 game? Holy cow. So who had power in the 90s for the Cubs?
So early 90s. I was initially thinking Sosa, but that would have been like the late 90s.
Late 90s. Oh, okay. I cheated. I looked, but yeah, it's an obvious name.
Is it Andre Dawson?
Yes, it is.
Nice, baby. Yeah.
Now I'm curious. Like, I kind of want to find that box score. Like, who were they playing? You know, like who walks them 5 times?
Cardinals wouldn't do that, man. We're just like, bring it on.
Like, I feel like that. Would they have just walked him with like a no open base too, like the lead off an inning?